This weekend's Weekend Warfare mode in Modern Warfare Remastered was Capture the Flag, and I was really excited to play this. When I first saw that Modern Warfare Remastered was a thing, I'd really hoped they would include Capture the Flag into it because it's one of my favorite game types, and it's something that I always thought would work really well in Modern Warfare, or COD 4 Modern Warfare, after playing it in like later Call of Duty games like MW2 or Black Ops 1. This was the first Weekend Warfare mode that I actually played since it started being a thing. Most of them have just been like joke modes like Snipers Only or Rockets Only from what I've seen. Not sure if they have had any other like legit game modes. But this is the first one that I seemed like I was interested in, the first one I played. And even though I do have a lot of problems with the mode, I did have a lot of fun playing it this weekend, and like obviously sad to see it go. I'd love to play more CTF over the course of this game, and I hope they bring it back in a later weekend after making some of the changes that I'm going to suggest in this video. First of all, for some reason the game was scored by rounds and not by total caps. So for example, you could win 3-0 in round 1 and then lose like 0-1 in round 2, and that would be a tie. When in reality, I think that the score should be 3-1 in your favor since you had 3 caps and the enemy team only had 1 cap. This is just a really nitpicky thing, and it's just something that like I don't understand how they made this game mode without doing that. It's just so obvious that it should be based on caps and not rounds to me. I also feel like the respawn timer could be increased. I don't know if it's just because of the slower pace of this game compared to others, or if it was too low. Not really sure. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head compared to other games, but it felt like if you got a lot of the enemy team down, they would spawn up way faster than they would in other games. And this could easily just be because the maps are like larger and the gameplay is slower. But I think that if they do bring it back at some point, the respawn timer should definitely be adjusted to fit the game much better. The last thing that I think should be addressed is obviously spawns. There's a lot of like wonky spawns that I've seen occur over this weekend when I've been playing the mode a lot. Like a lot of times you'll pull out towards your teammates and somehow the enemy spawns still in between like you and your teammates and your flag. It's very strange how like the enemies will spawn out sometimes, whereas instead of spawning like on an open side of their spawn, which would have been a much better spawn place, they'll just spawn like in position to stop you from capping, which if you're playing correctly and you pull out towards your teammates who have cleared a path, then that shouldn't happen, and you should be able to get a cap based on that if you pull out correctly. Obviously, if you pull to the side where you have no support, you're likely to run into spawners and you should die because you pulled in the wrong direction. But if you pull out towards your team where you have support, I don't think the enemy team should be spawning there. And I think that's also something that's really obvious that just, I don't know how they didn't catch it. Now that I've talked about like the issues I had with CTF in this game that could be easily avoided, and that this was the first Weekend Warfare mode that I've played, I would like to see other like classic Call of Duty modes be brought back to Modern Warfare Remastered. Not brought back to Modern Warfare Remastered, but brought to Modern Warfare Remastered in the form of the Weekend Warfare game modes like Demolition. I don't think they've had that. Demolition could be a very easy game mode to bring in, I feel, and it's very fun. A lot of people like that game mode. War, if they somehow manage to do that, I know that one can be very difficult, maybe with like the momentum system. I don't know, I don't work on games. But if they brought War back, I feel like a lot of people would like to play that game for a weekend. And finally, if they were somehow managed to do Safeguard from Black Ops 3, I don't know if you guys remember this mode, but it's where you had to transport a robot. It doesn't have to be a robot in this case, it could be anything. And you had to like stand next to it to get it to activate, and then it would walk, and then the enemy team could shoot it like rockets at it and shit to kill it. This was a very fun mode in Black Ops 3. This is obviously like the largest stretch of the game modes I just suggested because it's very like strange, and I feel like it'd be a lot of work for them to create, and I don't even necessarily know if it's something they could create, but I feel like this would be something really fun to play. I really like that mode in Black Ops 3, and I think there's something a lot similar to it in Overwatch, but I haven't played that game. Yeah, I think Demolition and War could definitely be a thing brought back, and then maybe Safeguard if they could somehow manage to do it. Like I said, that's totally out of the question. I understand that it can be very hard to do something like that, and they might not even be possible at all. I think even including like the normal Weekend Warfare shit they do, and then maybe even just a double XP version of a game mode that isn't, or not that, but like make a game mode double XP just for that weekend. Like say this weekend only Headquarters is double XP, and then like not everybody, but a lot of people would be playing Headquarters, and that would really help the fans of Headquarters that like as of right now have to deal with like a really low population count. If it was double XP for the weekend, they would be able to find games constantly and be able to match into like a lot of games with better connections for that weekend. And I feel like this is definitely something they could easily do to promote the lesser played game types and maybe get some people interested in those game types who wouldn't have tried it otherwise. Those are my thoughts on the Weekend Warfare playlist. This is a really short video. I just wanted to talk about like what the Weekend Warfare playlist could be if they like pushed it to the next degree. It's a very good idea, and it's something that could really like get the community together playing different game modes over the weekend, and really just get people out of just playing like TDM, Domination, and Search, which is like 3 most populated game types most of the time.